Robots Radio presents...
Baby Beard Media presents a Roll to Cast RPG podcast in the world of Pulp Cthulhu by Chaosium Inc., starring Chris Bond as Father John Murphy, Ellen Graham as Philomena Sagginario, Phil Harker-Smith as Jørgen Halverson, and Paul Goodman as Pierre Patatique. Story, keeping, and additional rules by Sean Fleur. Designed by Jack Sumner. Music by Paul Goodman. This is Ambrosia Island.
London, September, 1666. The night is quiet. Still, save for the wind whipping through the cold autumn night, the wooden houses with thatched roofs so closely built together with narrow streets of stone and straw, completely empty, devoid of humanity, all candles in all the houses burnt out, save for one. And as we enter the house and make our way down, the cellar is ablaze in bright orange, candles lit upon the floor, and hanging from the ceiling, fastened to the walls, and a single solitary man in his well-worn apron, chanting, slowly but methodically, his voice gradually rising. And as we look into the eyes, they begin to turn white, white hot. We zoom in, closer, closer. All is white. September 1935. And as we zoom out, we see another candle, and the candle is illuminating a small space in a much larger space. This main space is rustic and cluttered. The wooden framework, vertical pillars and horizontal beams like large crosses engulf the length of the warehouse floor. The floorboards are weathered and worn, and a rickety-looking scaffolding surrounds the exterior. A few meters above, some small windows are visible on the left-hand side in the center of three large garage doors next to one another. From the tall ceiling, large beams of light illuminate select pockets of the space, which only manages to highlight the one particular scene of interest directly in the center. We find Father John Murphy, sitting in a chair, hands tied behind his back. In front of him, a stone slab, with Detective Garrison prone across the top, tied down. And at the head of Detective Garrison is a man, Dexter Winwood, dressed all in black robes, full length. He has a candle in front of his eyes, a book by his side, and he's staring down at the both of you. But this is exactly where you want to be. A week ago, all of you got word of where the Fellowship of Nature's Salvation was going to be, and so, deliberately, Father John, you and Detective Garrison had yourselves captured with the express purpose of becoming the next sacrifice to the Fellowship.
Father John, would you like to describe yourself, please?
Father John is a man 28 in his long robes, black robes, fitting the priesthood of an Anglican priest. He's a 5'11", short brown hair, kind of combed over. His flat, round face, unremarkable. Seems concerned enough, but generally there's a pleasant glint under his eyes, a general happiness to be alive and to be living and breathing.
And as Father John looks down at Garrison, Garrison seems unusually calm, dressed in his black slacks, grey top, suspenders. His nice fedora has been knocked well away. He's quite beat up. He's got a blood nose. He's a little bit worse for wear, but he's smiling. And while he can't look at you, he just calls across, Father John, how you doing over there?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, I've been in worse scrapes than this before. Has he hurt you at all?
A little bit softer on the inside, but, look, you know.
Please shut up.
Dexter, that's no way to speak to company. You haven't even offered us a cup of tea.
I don't know if you'll realize, but you're not really in the place to be making demands right now.
It wasn't a demand, it's just a suggestion. Common courtesy.
Dexter's quite perturbed. He's been trying for the past 10 minutes to complete this ritual, but he's just constantly being upset and disturbed from two of you who are being more affable than he would like. No one is here. to save you. Everything has its purpose. Everything has its place, and you have found yourselves right where I want you. To which Detective Garrison replies, is that so? Well, when the time is right, I think you'll come to understand that everything does have its time and its place. Right, Father John?
That's right.
We smash cut outside the building. The red brick warehouse looms ominously against the night sky, silent and foreboding. At the entrance, a singular light casts down upon the front door, guarded by a large, rough-looking gentleman, all in black, cigarette in hand, bored, but alert. A ramp down the left-hand side, adjacent to the waterfront, leads to, presumably, a loading dock. It's rather dark, though. There might be another guard down the way. Maybe there was movement before. Could have just been the trick of the mind. But one thing is clear. This is the place. Pierre, Jørgen, Mena. As you sit just across the way from the front of the warehouse, in Garrison's car, looking on, you recall your jobs were made clear. Pierre was in charge of drawing focus away from the entrance. Mena's was to slip inside and get into position. And Jørgen's task was to slip around the side and cut the power when the time is right. As Garrison had said before you concocted this plan, locate your teammates, then stop the cult. Oh, and save your teammates too, if you don't mind. And as you wait there, we'll start with Mena, who is in the front driver's seat. Mena, would you like to describe yourself?
Mena is a young woman, 25. She's quite broad, kind of broad face, but with sharp features. She's got kind of almost an upturned nose, very tight-lipped that kind of curls slightly at the side, like she might enjoy a good laugh, but years of being stern and shutting up and doing what she's meant to has kind of made her face all tight and stern and wooden. She's got very piercing eyes, pin-curled hair, which is kind of the only thing that might be an allusion to fashion about her, and she's broad shoulders and muscular. So smallish, but sturdy. Looks like someone who can do a lot, who's used to hard work. She's staring ahead, kind of surveying the area.
Next to her on the passenger side, Jørgen Halvorsen.
Jørgen is a rather tall but doughy fellow. Let his 48 years catch up with him in the form of a bit of a paunch. He's sort of the height where you begin to suspect that he might be prone to the odd nosebleed. He's so far up there. He still has all of his blonde hair, including a nice big bushy blonde caterpillar that droops over his top lip. He's dressed rather plainly in overalls, like any sort of worker of the 1930s. He would be lost in a crowd. And he has a kind of affable, ruddy-cheeked character to him. If he's feeling any tension, you can't pick it up externally by just looking at him.
And the two of you are, as you're nodding and looking forth, all of a sudden, popping his head from the back seat, Pierre.
Pierre is a bit of a hulking man. If he wasn't so charming, it would be intimidating. Or maybe it's both. He's got his hair quite immaculately slicked back from a side parting, a neat little pencil moustache, tanned face with a cocky smile eternally stretched across it. He has a steel cane, which he uses for a limp. When he's sitting in the car, he's twirling it between his fingers. And he always looks like he's yet to slough off last night's drink, or he's either drunk or hungover, and he's just got that ruffled look about him. It's like he's just sort of existing beneath the surface a bit and not taking anything as serious as he should.
Well, it is serious times indeed, fellows. You were told to obviously give 10 minutes from the time that you followed the cult to this warehouse. 10 minutes is enough time for Dexter to hastily get into his ritual. You know you have no time to waste, and it's about that time. Maybe time to make your move if you do want to go over any last-minute plans. Otherwise, you have your jobs, and you know what you have to do.
So I need to get in there.
Well, you need to make sure that the rather large fellow is looking the other way, so we can do what we need to do.
Well, I know what to do. It's okay. It's okay. Just watch. Should I go now?
Yeah. Go.
Getting out the car, is he visible?
As far as where you are now, which is a fair way back, you kind of pulled up close to the warehouse parking lot just before that, so you're shrouded in darkness at the moment. Okay. The only light that is really visible is, funnily enough, a light that's showing you the man in question.
Coming half out of the darkness, but not quite, accentuating the tap of his steel cane on the ground. The doorman would hear a voice. Excuse me, mate. You haven't seen my beautiful little dachshund anywhere, have you?
This man, he's got the cigarette just held almost to his lips. This gives you a gaze. I'm sorry, what?
Please, you gotta help me look for him. He's a beautiful little dog, and he's just been scared by the night terrors. You know how it is with dogs. He's about yay. I mean, you can't see me because you're so far away, wouldn't you? I think he's just down here somewhere. You wouldn't just do me a favour and give me an hand, would you?
I think it's best you move along right now, son.
Please, I mean, it's okay. I know you're scared of the darkness. You're a big, strong man like you, but you're not going to be so scared that you wouldn't help a cripple like me look for his dog, would you?
So this
big scared man.
He takes one last drag of his cigarette, throws it upon the floor, stamps it out very slowly, kind of puts himself up to size, takes a few steps forward. Doesn't appear to have any weapons in hand, but he's putting himself to his full 6'4" height, very rotund belly. You best to get a steppin', mate. Otherwise things are going to get very bad for you very quickly, and cripple or not, I'll cave your face in.
Are we able to kind of see this
From
unfolding?
inside, yeah.
You can't hear it, but you can see
You
that
can see what's happening.
Yeah.
the man's not happy, and
Now he's looking our way as well, so we can't really slip out.
Pierre's sort of arcing away from the car, I think. He's going, I wouldn't say that I'm worried about that particularly. Big, strong wimp like you, scared of the dark, wouldn't even help an old man find his dog. I would be very scared of something you could do.
You want to repeat that word one more time?
Which one? Wimp? Scared?
So the man cracks his knuckles, cracks his neck, lets out a nice brief sigh. I think I'm going to enjoy this one.
Brilliant. Well, he's just down here.
I'm going to...
And he's going to start walking towards you. And there's about 10, 20 minutes between the two of you. Are you down the waterfront side, or are you from the opposite way?
I think waterfront. It's going to be waterfront. That seems like a good place to have this.
He's going to start methodically walking his way towards you.
I think Philomena will get out the car, see the kind of... feel the tension of what's about to happen, and she's going to go in anyway, so she might as well help out Froggy.
You're going past him, or you're heading to where are you heading towards?
I'm going to kind of head towards the situation.
Your job was to distract the guard, which is happening.
Yeah.
What was your job?
I'm meant to sneak in.
Oh, you meant to slip in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I would probably retcon and say sort of, don't worry about me. You should worry about yourself, little lady.
Do you listen to that or not?
Nah, I don't think he's capable.
So are you leading him away from the car as well?
So at the moment we're heading towards the waterfront.
Are they far enough away that we can get out and not be noticed yet?
At this point, yeah. His eyes are peeled on straight onto Pierre.
When Mena gets out, I'm going to get out as well. I'm going to head for the side of the warehouse. Got my tool belt on. Got a little box of tools.
There's a problem. Pierre has directed him to the same side that you need to get through. So at the moment, he's directly where you need to go.
And as much as an innocuous worker as I am, it is the middle of the night. So it's a bit weird. I might have to sort of hang back in the shadows and see how this plays out. He knows where I'm supposed to go, so I'm thinking Pierre has a plan for what happens next. So I'm out and I'm ready, and I'm just going to wait to see how it pans out.
And Mena?
I'm going to try and, as much as I can, sneak on this other guy.
Okay, can you make me a stealth roll, please?
85.
And what's your stealth?
50.
Yikes.
Unfortunately, that's a no-go.
Unless you want to push it.
You'd have to push a lot.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Ellen, you have the power Shadow, which allows on a stealth check to either reduce the difficulty by 1 or gain a bonus die at the keeper's discretion on stealth rolls. You are good at stealth.
Yes.
Well, this was just a standard roll, so that's an
Yeah.
automatic. That's just an automatic success.
Yep.
So if you're utilizing your...
Yep.
He doesn't hear you. He failed his spot listen.
Just over here, mate. Let's see what you got.
And we're kind of under the cover of darkness, right?
At this point, you are. However, you've got a couple of seconds to react, otherwise he is going to go into initiative with Pierre.
I want to unwrap my garrote, stealth along, and basically choke this guy out.
You're going to head up behind him, sneak up, and you unravel the wire between your two hands and give a nice roll.
48.
Yeah, I know that's a success because your garrote is fucking huge. It's a big number.
It's a
80.
huge garrote.
80. It is
Very good with it.
This is what she does. She doesn't like to take risks.
And what's your intention with this?
What's this guy going to do if he sees either Pierre or Jørgen? Pierre,
Raise the alarm, right?
Exactly.
Are you just looking to knock him out?
With a garrote? Doesn't that kill?
Yeah.
Garrotes kill. They crush windpipes.
I'm killing him.
You're going to kill him?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Well, he's a guard. Sorry.
He's got a wife and kids.
A doom cult. Yeah, kill him.
And also living people. tell things. Anything we say in the mob, snitches get stitches.
He's
all
also
right?
6'4", which in the pulp world means that he's evil.
Exactly. If I'm leaving him up,
Hang on. What are you saying?
He's super tall. It means he's a character of morality. He's not just a general Joe.
yeah. But if I leave him alive,
Like Jaws from James Bond. He's tall, therefore he's got characteristics.
Give me a damage roll. So it's going to be because it's an automatic success.
Yeah.
You
about
absolutely
Shaq?
slammed it. In fact, you got a hard success. So it's a 1d6 and 1d4.
yep, 5 and 4. I'll just add that.
Add them together.
That's 9.
9.
Yeah. You stealthily come up behind him. How tall are you?
She's about 5'5".
You come up behind him. You see the height difference there. You unravel the garrote. Mina unravels the garrote.
Yeah.
And she jumps up and she brings the garrote around his neck. Using all your muscles, slam him back.
Bring him down.
And he lands backwards. His head smacks right back against the floor. Dude is knocked out.
Yeah.
Dude is absolutely knocked out. Out cold.
Jørgen, he sees Mena going through the shadows, and as she grabs him down, he slips past the two of them into the alleyway, sort of between the melee, and just sort of goes
Nice.
Yeah.
just straight through with his clippers in hand.
Yeah. Mina
A
just
lit-
gives him a nod.
And the whole time, Pierre's been going, oh, yeah, come on, mate, just a little bit closer. Let's see what you... Oh, come on! I had him!
Did you though?
It would have been easy.
Pierre, shut the fuck up.
God, you're an interesting woman.
Very efficient. I approve. A little gruesome, but I'll see you inside.
While Jørgen heads off to the side, the two of you.
Pierre, he hasn't flinched throughout all of this, and he just lights a cigarette with his Zippo lighter and takes a long breath of his filterless Gitan.
Are you guys staying outside? Or are you?
I mean, no. No, but cigarettes first.
Cigarettes first.
He
And-
offers one to Mina. He offers the pack.
Yeah, thanks. All right, well, we still have our jobs. I thought I was going to sneak in, but, you know,
You sneak now. Allez.
what are you going to do?
Follow, maybe.
You going to be a distracting son of a gun like you usually are?
When it is my job. Of course.
All right, well, you first.
I mean, it's not exactly... It wasn't my job.
Maybe you
do
stay
yours for a
outside
change.
and watch the car.
So-
Maybe might be a good idea.
Right, so you heading in?
I'm going to head in. Yeah.
And
Okay,
Pierre?
well, that's a good idea.
So the two of
Yeah,
you
maybe
head up
please.
you head up to the front door. I
don't know. Phil's made a good point. Although,
He's
do we
gonna
need to?
cover our
Although,
escape route.
do we need to watch the car, or is it just going to be? Is Pierre going to be needed in there?
Get in there. We want you.
It's pulp.
Yeah, it's pulp. Get in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought you'd
Okay.
either be in there or like right outside
This is
the door.
this is big damn heroes
Either way.
moment.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Pierre and Mina.
Pierre
you he-
follows-
You head
Pierre
up to the
follows
front,
Mina in is the thing.
You put your hands around the door handle. You turn it. It's locked.
Fuck.
Clearly locked.
Well, you got frog's legs, Frenchie. You want to kick this thing down?
You will be heard.
Moment. He checks the guard's body.
Good job, sir.
He limps over
So
with
you,
his cane.
Pierre limps over. You start patting the man down. Surprisingly, a lot of pockets in that robe. You reach into his chest pocket. You hear a jangling. Sure enough,
Jingle, jangle.
it is a singular key.
You see, I was prepared. I knew all of this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm holding it out to Mina at this point.
Did you find that dachshund or what?
He's dead. I ate him. Come on,
You French. All right, let's get our asses in there. We got a plan?
go in. Save the heroes. Kill the bad guys.
Yeah, it's not my usual shtick, but whatever. I'd like to get my Tommy gun out.
Forgot I gave you that. Yeah.
Dirty animals.
Look, I'm not going to make you roll to get your Tommy gun out. You got your Tommy gun out. You got your Tommy gun out. You've got it at the ready.
All right,
Cool.
shall we open and see what's up?
Like Pierre's been holding the key the whole time to Mina, but Mina doesn't take it. So Pierre sort of just shrugs and well.
And then we cut over to the side where Jørgen is heading around.
Sure. So I'm gonna quickly look along the side of the building for any conduits so I can locate the box that is the central power hub for the building.
So you start heading around down the side. It's pretty dark. You don't
Yep.
seem to. I'm assuming you're being quiet.
I'm
You're
trying to be, yeah.
You're trying to be. Yep. And so far, there's no
So
noise.
far, so good, yeah.
So far, so good. You start scanning the roofs and the kind of sides. You don't see anything. Do you keep going down?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
Yep.
looking at it. That's my job. I'm gonna find the
Then
power.
You kind of see around the side what appears to be a loading dock, and you've got the 3 garage doors on the
Mm-hmm.
side there with windows. Just next to the first one, you do see a box.
Yep.
You also look up higher. You do see power lines.
Yeah.
Up above as well. So there's a few options there.
Quick scan up and down, see if there's anyone guarding this side of the building.
Nothing at the moment.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to head to that box that connects for the power from the street to the warehouse.
Yep, you head up to the rustic box.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it does have a lock on it.
Ah, okay.
It looks like quite a cheap rustic lock. Like it's just something that someone's just quickly slapped on. It's not really going to keep too much out.
I'm going to reach down to my tool belt, look for my automatic lock picker, a small handheld device that looks a little bit in size about like a torch, like a flashlight, but instead of a beam of light that comes out the end, a couple of picks come out, a little kind of style movement as
like
they...
a Swiss Army knife?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
A furtive look over the shoulder before putting it up to the lock, and a little half turn to set the picks working.
And remind me, you already have lockpicking as a skill.
I have a lockpick of 40.
I mean, look, it's an automatic success, my friend, because you already have. It's 100 basically with that automatic lockpick. Works this time. Just so.
It's a crappy old lock, and it pops open, and then I'm going to look at the contents.
It swings open. Look, it's American, and it seems a bit more shabbily put together than maybe you're used to across the pond. But, things make sense. You've got a whole bunch of wires, a whole bunch of lights and such, and it looks potentially workable.
I'm looking to cut the power so that it can't be turned on again by someone who comes. So my option are I was thinking either take the fuses out if it's a fuse box, or just cut the main line.
Just remember as well that Garrison did say to you when the time is right.
Okay, yeah. Well, so I'm prepared. I have my clippers ready.
And you do actually have a view of that garage window. And if you do look inside...
Okay, yeah, I will look inside for sure.
You can see from there the candles, the middle room, and you can't see Garrison, but you can see John Murphy.
Like the back of him, maybe?
Yeah, you can see the side of him.
Ah, okay,
You can see the side of him. You can see he's quite bloodied, and you can hear faint murmurs.
Yes.
You can hear it's pretty soundproofed. And as we cut into the room, Dexter Winwood, he goes down to the floor and he picks up a candle and he starts waving it left to right, up and down, left to right, up and down, and he's staring down at Detective Garrison. And from his pocket, he pulls out a knife. And Detective Garrison looks up and he says, "Hey, Father, did I come up with a word?
I don't think we did.
I was meant to
Fucking hell. All right, hold on. Just before you do, I got a question for old Dexter.
Oh, I mean, sure. Look, it might give me time to think of a way to...
While I ask him a question, you come up with a secret word.
Just give me a minute, and that should be enough time for me to come up with the word.
That's all right. Dexter, do you not want to renounce your heathen ways and maybe embrace the loving embrace of the Lord? You can come back. Jesus forgives.
I'm sorry, what?
It's a loving God. It's a loving faith. You come back from all this nonsense.
Are you absolutely insane?
No, I'm just asking you a question.
Do you know where you are right now? Do you know that this is bigger than your God or any of the mortal ways of the world? Do you know nothing of the powers that be? You are insignificant in the face of this.
We're all insignificant. We've got love.
Hey, what do you think about pineapple?
Pineapple's a good one.
Or what about help? Or is that too obvious?
That's too obvious. That's not secret.
Cult? Or no, we thought...
No, that'll bring the others.
What about now?
Now's a good one.
Now?
Snip.
And the lights are going to go out. And a few seconds before that is when you had opened the door and you come in to complete darkness, save for the middle of the room, where you can see a very perplexed Dexter lit by the candle with just a look of utter confusion on his face. And you've heard the word now.
Okay.
Oh, you go.
Oh, no, you go.
No, you go.
Are we going to go into initiative?
In a few seconds, maybe.
Great. I have some things that I'd like to do.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, you hear the rustling of feet, and down in the scaffolding are 4 individuals dressed in the same black robes.
I was going to ask.
Where's the rest of the fucking cult?
Ladies and gentlemen, initiative is ready. So, for those of you that aren't aware, order is determined by your dexterity. Mm-hmm. So, we don't roll for initiative each time. It is a set phrase. The fastest of you always will get to act first. It is most likely, just remembering that if you have a readied firearm, as one of us is, it is going to be dex plus 50. So, can I just get everyone's dex orders just for...
posterity?
Yeah. Father John.
I am 30.
30?
Oh.
I'm very slow.
55.
50. It's Jared Depagy.
50.
Plus.
Oh, God.
Plus, I got a gun out.
So 105.
Yeah. 100.
100. 100.
Yeah.
50 as a flat, 55, 50.
Nope.
30.
55.
55, 50.
So Jørgen is the
50.
fastest.
Somehow.
55. Ah.
This
He's got
doughy
longer-
Scandinavian.
He's got longer legs.
He's longer limbed.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Our
Well,
giant's
after
gonna help.
losing his fingers in the accident, he pays a bit more attention to what's going on around him. I hope I can get in the back of the warehouse.
Yeah, you can dive through the window that you can see.
Kick it with
Oh,
your
that's
beefy
right,
legs.
yeah. Hit
Your
it with a
big
spanner.
old-
Yeah. That's what you do. As it looks like someone's coming up behind someone else, you throw a spanner at them, and they're stunned.
Get a spanner in the works.
Oh,
Fuck it.
And then you do the thumbs up
How do
thing
you
from
say?
Costa.
Oh, shit.
you say suck it.
It's really hard to pun in you're not your first language.
Mena, you were prepared for this. You were hoping for this. It's a very clear target. Everything is shrouded except for the scene in the middle. However, you do have a chair, which is Father John, in the way of Dexter. But there are 4 people gathering from the shadows.
And I am aware of them.
You can hear them. You can't necessarily see them. And you don't know how long the power is going to be out for. Maybe entirely.
Shit. I'm
There
off
are
two
there are
options here.
pockets of light, by
Like
the way.
moonlight coming through the roof.
And also, there were
Candles, yeah.
around. So there are pockets of light.
Yeah.
Now, I know that I can keep the finger on the trigger.
Yes.
It's gonna not fucking backfire. I'm thinking that she would. The obvious target is the obvious target, right? You get the boss.
Yeah.
The mooks are kind of
Dexter.
secondary. But whether it's better to like
Or just get him to like hands up and surrender. Like I don't know. I figure that's what we do first, right?
Nah,
Before we start
fuck this
blasting.
guy.
Okay.
I'm just my
So
big,
then I started blasting.
Yeah. Like this is Scarface here. Like my
Yeah, okay.
my biggest issue is whether I just go bang, or because I've got a Tommy gun. Whether I leave my finger on the trigger, spray forward, and then upwards.
Did
I'll just
Sean
go for
say?
him. Just unload at him.
Yeah,
Did Sean say that somebody was sitting in blocking the view of?
is that possible?
So what do you want to do? Just
like
say that again?
shoot at Dexter, but leave my finger on the trigger, unloading, and then kind of like bring it up and around,
Try
kind of like a lasso.
Try and sweep at where you think you hear all the cultists.
Yeah.
Is that
You
right?
can. I am going to let you know that there is going to be a penalty dice because you do have
Yes.
a target in the way, directly in the
Yeah.
way, and the first bullet is going to be standard. But if you're continuing the volley, I'm going to have a penalty dice on every other one after that because you are continuing.
Yeah.
And you're trying to fire into the darkness as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, see what it's.
Yeah.
And it is automatically a hard difficulty because you are just at the entrance, and that is more than your base rate.
That's-
What is your base rate
How far?
for firearms?
20 yards.
That's within 20. Yeah, that's within
Yeah.
20 yards. You're doing good. You're
Yeah.
doing good. All right. So standard difficulty with a
Penalty die. Yeah. Which means you roll your 10s twice and take the worst.
First one isn't.
first one isn't.
Yeah.
But if you're
Okay,
continuing
yeah.
the volley after
Should I just keep rolling and I don't know.
just do your
What do you-
standard D100.
70?
You've got to roll both. Yeah, 76. And what is your gun is? I'm just gonna-
Firearms?
It's a Beretta.
You have
One
a
T one.
You have a Beretta?
Yeah.
I thought you had a Tommy gun.
Isn't that a
No.
submachine?
A Beretta
It's an
is,
SMG, yeah.
but
Yeah.
a Beretta isn't a Tommy gun. A Thompson is a Tommy gun.
Sorry, I'm using
You're
the
right.
wrong terminology.
You're right. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. It's
So,
first game.
It's a
it's
it's
fine.
a submachine gun.
So basically,
Yeah.
you rolled 76. And what's your SMG number?
It is 80.
You succeed. And he wasn't aware that it was happening. He is going to get hit. And your damage is 1d10.
3.
3. Okay, so the lights go out. Mena, you open the door. You see the scene before you. You already had your SMG at the ready.
Yep.
Your Beretta. And you take careful aim. You take a shot. And it goes over the shoulder, surprisingly, of Father John Murphy and hits the hand that was holding the candle. And he immediately yelps out in pain. The candle goes out and he falls down. He stumbles backwards. A hard
So-
difficulty for the rest with
Yeah.
a penalty die. It's a hard roll,
Yeah.
which is going to be you want to hit half 40
Half 40.
and with a penalty die. So, I mean, look, why not? You've got the boards.
Hey, forget it. Fuck. Might as well.
Yeah, they go wild. They miss.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it was a good opportunity. You know, you got one shot. You got a bit cocky. You just with a bit of flair and a flourish, you just bring it round. Doesn't sound like it hit anyone. I mean, you hear a lot of thuds. You hear going into brick, and you kind of listen out, and all you can hear is just Dex like, God, God damn it.
Pierre also goes, "Oh, I think I've been hit.
Shut up,
Terrible
Pierre.
volley."
And Dexter is actually going to, cradling his arm, he's going to make a dash straight for the left-hand side where the garage is. He's going to use a strength roll and try and just lift up that garage straight away. So there's lights peppering around the place, so you do get to see him. You know where he's
very
going.
moody. I love it.
Cinematically, he moves through shadow and into light and out of light into shadow as he makes a dive
Stumbling.
to flee.
With his hand dripping blood.
And he kind of like hits his shoulder against the garage door, and with his left hand, he does lift it all the way up. And Garrison, look, to be perfectly honest with you, Garrison can't quite do much, so he's just gonna... Look, if you guys could just make it quick, the rope's starting to cut into me a bit. It really hurts, guys. Really, really hurts. So, Jørgen, from your perspective, you've just ripped the framework out and all the lights go out. Success! Funnily enough, if you rip wires out, that's what happens.
Things stop working. It's pretty easy for me. I build things all the time electrically. Turning them off is way simpler.
Everything happens pretty quickly. You see all the lights go out. You immediately hear a gunshot.
That's what I was expecting.
You're an SMG. It's pretty safe to assume that was Mena.
Yep.
Maybe a bit reckless. Who knows? It depends on...
Couple of the windows above me around the top of the building fly out.
This time you do hear voices. You hear the scream of Dexter, and then all of a sudden the garage door opens before you, and sure enough, there is Dexter Winwood, and he's holding his bloody arm.
Do I have a spanner on me?
science spanner.
Heavy
You have, like,
tool? A hammer? A spanner?
Or like wire cutters? I don't know.
Something.
A carry bag, like a metal carry
Like
bag.
You
my
said that
toolbox.
you had your toolbox.
Yeah.
Swing a
Yes.
toolbox on him.
Swing a toolbox into his head, knock him out.
That's excellent.
They don't make toolboxes like they used to.
I actually
talking
made
about?
this
Because
myself. I needed something that works to my specifications.
I love how we're also commenting in character. It's not going to be
I'm imagining
confusing at
that
all.
as well, and it's very cinematic.
It is nice, isn't it?
46 under my fighting 56.
Well, I
Ooh.
mean, just to peel back the curtain, Dexter almost fumbled that.
Oh.
Came very goddamn close. Dexter's
Is he
not
like
looking
back?
He's not looking at you. He's got the garage open. He's still tending to his wound. And
My baby!
And as he turns back to give a bit of a "I'll get you" crunch straight across his cheek, and give me your unarmed damage roll there.
It's 1d3 plus damage bonus, which is none. So that's a 2.
He didn't see it coming, and he does indeed fall flat to the floor. Kong, he kind of slumps against the garage, the wooden brick pillar that's there, and just kind of slides down.
Not so fast, Mr. Winwood.
Roll to Cast Ambrosia Island is a Baby Beard Media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all our podcasts are on Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/babybeard. Pulp Cthulhu and all associated properties are trademark of Chaosium Inc. Used with permission.
You've been listening to a Robots Radio podcast. Smart shows for interesting people. Check out all the shows at robotsradio.net.
My name is Brian Burton. It's been 26 years since the bombs fell. And since I've left the vault, I've been trying to rebuild. This isn't the Appalachia that I remember. There's so much more to everything going on. And I promise to find the answer. So if you're out there, if you're listening, just hone in on these coordinates. Remember, there's a place for you at the end. Omega.
The Omega Broadcast Fallout Story is available on iTunes, Spotify, and many great podcasting sources.